Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll be going through my SuperCoach side for round 6, going through the VCs, captaincies, as well as just the sort of rookie roulette a little bit as we try and get the best players sort of on field as well. There is definitely, as I said in my fantasy video, if you watch both of them, there's a consideration trying to get a trainer and guys like that on field over like a Cleary and stuff like that. But in this scenario, I don't actually think I can do that, just because of the player I've selected and the reasoning behind the player being selected. And that's just more so cash generation, as I'd be still grabbing this player up, these combination of players up in the next couple of weeks itself. The rookies and the primos. It's just the structure behind it and getting out the players out due to cash generation has forced my hand in a certain direction, I feel like. But anyway, before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. If you're listening on Spotify, give me a follow and a rating over there, and let's get back into this video. So, as you can see, you can probably see no Daicos, and you're probably wondering, why is that so? I've gone Wanganeen-Malira. He looks really consistent, and if we look at the defenders for this year, you'll probably see what I'm looking at here and figuring out why I think that these four will be top of the line in Sinclair, Zorko, Whitfield, and Wanganeen-Malira. You'll have Holmes just behind him. Ash, I think, will fall off when Whitfield gets back to his best. Dale and Clark are in and around the mark, and Houston, obviously with the suspension, can't really gain anything, but he should be back around those 110s when he gets back. And then you've got Sheasel as well, who I think will be probably in and around that marker as well. So you've got Wanganeen-Malira, Whitfield, Zorko, Sinclair, and Harry Sheasel, which when we start to grab the midfielders, as you'll see later on when I discuss sort of my 2-3 week trade plan, you'll see that Sheasel will come back into the backline alongside Sinclair, and you'll have Sheasel, Sinclair, Wanganeen-Malira, Whitfield, and Zorko. You'll have 5 already there alongside Roberts in the near future, as we start to cull the players, etc., the rookies, etc., as we go and get to in upgrade season, obviously. And that's how I'm going to get the top 6 guys, or 6 of these guys. I am so confident that Sinclair, Zorko, Whitfield, and Wanganeen-Malira will be top 8. So confident that, yep, just lock it away. Those guys are done. And then Sheasel will be fine. And then Roberts next week should be upgraded to Daicos is basically the plan. If we go back to the team, you can see that Whitfield, Zorko, Wanganeen-Malira in the backline D1 to 3. Those guys all, as I said, confident that they will be top 6. Sinclair sitting at M1 at the moment, and that is solely just because, he will be fine. But I'm pretty confident that he will just slot back in over Roberts next week, or Sheasel, whichever one. They make no difference to the actual. One will be sitting in the defender line, one will be sitting in the midfield line, and that will enable me to get Daicos next week. Brisbane, it's not that I'm worried that he won't score. I think he could easily go 130, 140, and it will cost me 20 points in SuperCoach and 30 points in SuperCoach, and potentially just make me spend another. If we look at Daicos, I think he's got a break even of 121, I think is what we were talking about on the live. 121 break even. If he goes 130, it costs me another 3k 4k to grab him at 584k, and then it means I get to wait and watch Petrarca for another week. I did consider track and ranking this week over Wanganeen-Malira, which would have allowed me to get Cleary off field and get trainer. But at the same time, I'm thinking Cleary's still probably going to score pretty well anyway, just because his role actually looks all right. If we go to player summary, we go to Cleary, and he's definitely someone that you would have heard all throughout preseason me go, he's the one for Sydney to break out, because he would have been playing round 1. He almost got a chance on grand final day anyway, which was surprising that neither him or Adams was selected, and probably was one of the downfalls for Sydney. But you can see when he actually plays for Sydney, and yes, this is the worry, 35% here, but and the fact that these are awfully similar sort of heat maps in a way, but you can see he's getting a lot more of the ball. The CBAs are slightly down, but I'm pretty sure if you actually look at the heat map, it's a lot more It's definitely a lot more around the ground than what a normal small forward would be. If you look at this one here for Sydney, it wasn't as much in the center. So it looks like he's going to be one of the guys that sort of goes into the midfield quite a lot. Doesn't necessarily get the CBAs, but gets a lot of stoppage time. So that's a good thing. And I don't know what is exactly his forward. If we actually go to Sydney Swan squad here, if we go to this and we go to player profiles, what do they have Cleary listed as? Let's just see for a second here. Campbell, where's Cleary? What is Cleary's still listed as a forward? Okay, so champion data haven't changed him yet. But he just looks good, and his non-disposal work is huge. Not even kicking goals to get to the good SuperCoach scores as well, and he could easily, I think, put up another 70, 80. He's got an all-right matchup against Port Adelaide. I don't think he played Port Adelaide last year. But yeah, if you just look at his numbers in the VFL as well as a midfielder, he's one of those ones. He was alongside McKercher and also Sanders in that Allies midfield that I'm pretty sure won the national champs. But then he was in the same draft class as Harley Reid. Those four are the top four midfielders from that draft class, hands down. And we haven't even seen Cleary sort of transition to that midfield. So yeah, all he needs is another week of scoring well, because in another week as well of scoring well, then I'll get another, just another 2 weeks of him scoring well. And then by that point, we get, I guess, him being, we'll then get Trackle Rankin, and this will be irrelevant, or we get another midfielder and he still goes. But yeah, if he's just scoring well, then that's what we need. Rookie Roulette is quite an interesting one. I'm not going to be going with the likes of... I could actually do Camberwelly plays North Melbourne. That's before all of the chaos there. So that kind of sucks that loop game is there. And you've got North Melbourne there. So just trying to think through whether or not Hewitt can be of any use. And I just don't think he can be, because he's already situated in the forward line, as he's the other loop there, and I don't have any loop in the back line for for Trainer to get on, and no way of Trainer getting on anyway. As you can see there, I need to have a midfielder in my flex just because of the midfielders I've got left over. But yeah, I'm pretty confident anyway that this is going to be sort of around about the best side that I can produce. And Harry Sheezel VC, you would have seen the numbers, and I think they still stack up in SuperCoach comparative to what I was seeing in Fantasy. If we look here, you've got West Coast and Carlton, the best two matchups, and that's exactly where my captaincy is going to go. And my VC, yes, I'm going slightly different than my Fantasy, but I'm going Sheezel into Merritt. Merritt is there because of his run. And his run, this is when you need to really take advantage of it. And he's got West Coast, Collingwood, North Melbourne. If we look at this, West Coast, Collingwood's down at minus 3.3, and then North Melbourne is also plus 1.32. So yeah, I'm looking at that going, I think he can do really well. If we look at it for Sydney, Chav Warner down there, still considered inside mid, I guess. James Jordan still considered inside mid. Yeah, okay. Paddy Cripps just had a stinker of a game and just was left up forward, I think, because they had an injury. So, yeah, a couple of forward-type players having bad games, and they're classified as midfielders. So, I still think Collingwood's is still an all right matchup for inside mid. But, yeah, that's sort of my thought along that. Obviously, Sardis could not get named on the Thursday. This is coming out the Wednesday. He could not get named, and then I have to play Moraes, as that'll be the one avenue to get to that. I hope he gets named. If he doesn't get named, then that'll be it. Obviously, I'll play one of those. Hall could easily get dropped as well. And then that would open up potential avenue to get Nick Daicos anyway, if Henderson was to get dropped and Hall wasn't. Hall was and Henderson was, then I'd probably drop Hall and pick up Daicos, and then also play a Trainer over in that effectively in the Sardis position. That would be, I think, the way around it. And then you'd have Gross, Cleary, Ashcroft, Lindsay. Then you'd have also Trainer effectively, Reed and Bice as my rookies. And I think I'm left with 9 upgrades, but there's a clear path with my upgrades. Roberts next week to Daicos with Pryor down to Carroll looks like the obvious play. Potentially even a Moraes or a Hall down to Carroll, and then just playing an extra, the extra defender in the flex position. And then the week after that, probably Oliver up to Clayton Oliver up, I would think, or potentially pull a move off of having enough cash in the bank, although I don't think I will, but potentially have 50k or something in the bank to move potentially like a Lindsay or something up, but would have to see based on cash generation. But I don't think that'll be possible, so it might be wait a week and get Oliver up or something like that, or potentially just trade one of these rookies down to someone and bank cash to make another move to effectively over the course of 2 weeks do a two down, one up. But yeah, that is just sort of my plans for the next little bit. Obviously, a lot can change in that time, as rookies can fail and stuff like that, and you can have to trade them out. They can injuries, etc., suspension. So you've got to be a little bit just not lock anything in, but just be mindful of everything there, I guess. But that is the SuperCoach team. Hopefully, I can gain back into the top 20k. Hopefully, top 15k if I get a really good round there. But that is the video there. If you guys did enjoy that, you can find my other SuperCoach content on the links up on screen, and then I will see you guys tomorrow for the predictions videos. Bye guys.